Good evening, and welcome to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm Nicodemus, and I will be your host as we take a look at the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. And remember, none of this is financial advice. And it's 10 p.m. on a Friday. Relax, you made it. 26th of May, 2023. And welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we have no sponsors, no agenda, and no BS. The Central Bank of Brazil has chosen 14 institutions to participate in their pilot program for the country's central bank digital currency, the digital real. The selected institutions include major local private banks like Bradesco and Nubank, as well as the most prominent public Brazilian bank, Banco do Brasil, and the local stock exchange B3. Multinational companies such as Visa and Microsoft have also been included. The central bank plans to incorporate these participants into the digital real pilot platform starting mid-June 2023. The bank received 36 proposals of interest from over 100 institutions across various financial sectors, including payment institutions, cooperatives, public banks, crypto companies, financial market infrastructure operators, and payment settlement institutes. The Brazilian CBDC pilot project will involve national and global companies. Banco Central do Brasil, the country's central bank, will gradually add participants to the digital real platform beginning in June of this year. On May 24th, the central bank released its final list of participants in the CBDC pilot. The participants were chosen from a pool of 36 bids submitted by individual companies and consortia representing over 100 institutions. The final number of participants is 14. Microsoft heads a group of one of the 14 participants. Other participants include Visa, Santander, Itaú Unibanco, BTG Pactual, and Banco Bradesco. Now, in the current phase of the pilot, the central bank will test the privacy and programmability features of the platform using a specific use case: a delivery versus payment protocol for federal public securities. The Brazilian CBDC pilot was officially announced in 2022. The digital real will be pegged to the national fiat currency, the real, with a fixed supply that will be gradually minted over time. Now, Brazil has a population over 214 million, and it is a significant market for the global crypto companies. In January, Binance and MasterCard partnered to launch a prepaid crypto card nationwide. Since March, Coinbase has collaborated with local payment providers to offer crypto purchases and facilitate deposits and withdrawal in the local currency. On May 19th, the central bank granted a license to LATAM Gateway. They're the payment provider for Binance in Brazil. This allows them to operate as a payment institution and electronic money issuer. Now, speaking of significant players in the crypto space, let's shift our focus to the European continent. A well-known crypto exchange has made a significant move. Crypto exchange Gemini has selected Dublin as the headquarters for its European operations. This decision comes as many crypto companies are seeking to expand outside the US. Founded by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss in 2014, Gemini confirmed the choice of Ireland as its base to grow its services across Europe on May 25th. They met with Ireland's PM, and after that meeting, the Winklevoss twins highlighted Ireland's robust regulatory system, deep talent pool, and established technology community as their reasons for the selection. While fewer Irish adults own cryptocurrency compared to previous years, approximately 10% of them still do. This number has decreased from 12% during the 2021 bull market. That's according to research from August of 2022. Now, despite this decline, cryptocurrency companies such as Binance and Kraken, along with several blockchain and fintech startups, are actively setting up shop in Ireland. Earlier in January, the head of the Irish Central Bank recommended banning crypto advertising, but it hasn't prevented these companies from establishing a foothold in the country. Now, the Prime Minister expressed the significance of Gemini's choice. He said that it aligns with the government's focus on innovation as a driver of growth. In a statement to reporters, Cameron Winklevoss said, quote, "Ireland is our entry point into the EU." The Winklevoss twins considered various EU countries as potential entry points. They found Ireland to be a natural fit due to the reputation of its regulator, the Central Bank of Ireland, a strong technology community, a talented workforce, and the overall ecosystem. With the recent official approval of the new markets and crypto assets regulations by the EU on May 16th, Gemini plans to increase its headcount. Gemini already has a place in Dublin with 12 staff members, and they've obtained a virtual asset service provider license from the Central Bank of Ireland in July of 2022. The Winklevoss twins predict a significant boost to the crypto industry in Europe due to the regulatory framework. Cameron called it a Cambrian explosion of innovation. This move to Dublin is not the first overseas expansion for Gemini. In April, the company announced its plans to establish an engineering hub in India to tap into that country's growing tech talent pool. The decision to select Dublin as the EU headquarters comes amidst an increasing regulatory pressure and a lack of consistency in the United States, which some industry observers have called a war on crypto. However, Gemini will still maintain offices in New York under the Gemini Trust Company LLC. Now, as Gemini expands its operations into Europe, another crypto project is making waves with a substantial funding round. Let's take a look at Worldcoin. Crypto project Worldcoin raised $115 million in a Series C funding round led by Blockchain Capital. The funds will support its decentralized World ID and recently launched crypto wallet, WorldApp. Worldcoin was co-founded by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, and it was developed by Tools for Humanity. It aims to address issues arising from increasing complexity of artificial intelligence in the digital age, such as proof of personhood. Other investors in the round include Andreessen Horowitz, Bain Capital Crypto, and Distributed Global. Arkesh Sanghi is the head of product and business operations at Tools for Humanity, and he said decentralized and privacy-preserving solutions are needed during the age of AI to demonstrate humanness online and to empower individuals worldwide to control their own identity and finances. The additional resources will assist Worldcoin in building and launching inclusive tools and technologies that provide opportunities for global participation in the digital and global economy. Now, Worldcoin has already onboarded over 2 million users in its beta version. It's preparing to launch a blockchain protocol and to begin recording transactions in the coming weeks. The project recently introduced the WorldApp. That's a gas-free crypto wallet for verified humans on Android and iOS. The app operates on the Polygon network, allowing users to hold and transfer USDC, DAI, Ether, Worldcoin, and wrapped Bitcoin. Using zero-knowledge proofs, the app verifies the user's humanity without revealing the underlying data. Worldcoin has partnered with regulatory crypto exchanges MoonPay and Ramp to provide on- and off-ramps within the wallet. The wallet includes built-in integration with Uniswap for coin swapping, and it enables users to send and receive crypto using their contacts' phone numbers. Worldcoin's WLD ticket is not accessible in the United States and certain other countries, as stated on the project's website. Worldcoin was founded in 2019 and previously secured funding in a Series A round led by Andreessen Horowitz, Digital Currency Group, and Coinbase Ventures. Notable investors in the project include former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried and LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman. Now, while Worldcoin is raising funds to expand its operations, France is taking steps to regulate how crypto firms market their products. Let's dive into the new rules for influencer marketing in France. And that leads us to our cover story for tonight. French lawmakers have revised a bill initially to impose strict restrictions on locally registered cryptocurrency companies regarding influencer marketing. The bill's initial version permitted only licensed crypto firms to engage in influencer marketing. However, since no crypto companies in France are licensed or are legally required to do so, this would have severely limited their promotional activities. On May 25th, the French Senate unanimously agreed on a new version of the bill that seeks to regulate promotions by influencers across various industries. According to two French lawmakers, the revised bill now requires crypto firms registered with the AMF, the Financial Markets Authority, to utilize influencers for their marketing efforts. The specific wording of the bill has not yet been made public. As stated by the pair's release, the revised bill states that only financial products and cryptocurrencies from companies registered with the AMF can be promoted. Now, there are 60 firms that are registered with the AMF, but they have yet to obtain the now optional licensing. Additionally, the release mentioned that the financial watchdog control capacities and the consumer affairs regulator would be strengthened. This bill also imposes restrictions on influencers promoting other products, such as nicotine products like vapes. It prohibits the display of sports betting and gambling products to individuals under 18. Non-compliance with the legislation could lead to penalties, including a maximum prison sentence of 2 years, a fine of 300,000 euros, and the potential prohibition of influencer activity. This agreement follows the approval of an amendment by the Senate's Committee on Economic Affairs in May. That allows AMF-registered crypto firms to engage in influencer marketing. Now, from France's approach to crypto marketing, let's move north to Norway, because that country's central bank has some thoughts on how to regulate the crypto market. The Central Bank of Norway has released its annual Financial Infrastructure Report. This focuses on crypto assets and the regulation of Norway's market. The report discusses whether Norway should rely on international regulatory examples to control its market. The European Union's Markets in Crypto Assets regulation is set to be implemented in the next couple of years and will likely apply to Norway as well. However, the Ministry of Finance will assess the relevance and implementations of MiCA in Norway due to Norway's membership in the European Economic Area, but not the EU. Norges Bank suggests that MiCA may not adequately address some crypto regulatory needs. The bank points out that targeted regulations often fail to manage risks associated with new technological developments and activities, making them insufficiently resilient. It cites decentralized finance regulation as an example of this problem within MiCA. The quality of regulation has a psychological impact, as participants need to perceive a high likelihood of being detected to deter misconduct. Norway's bank emphasizes the importance of assessments by relevant authorities and expresses its willingness to contribute to such assessments. The paper highlights that further development of MiCA might be driven by national interests that Norway does not share. Therefore, Norwegian authorities should develop their own regulatory solutions more quickly instead of waiting for international ones. Without this step, private entities could exert undue influence over Norwegian regulation, including taxation. The newness of crypto assets poses challenges for effective regulation due to the lack of experience. The report acknowledges the extent to which current legislation can effectively regulate crypto is still an outstanding question. Additionally, Norway's bank reveals its ongoing research into central bank digital currency and plans to publish its findings later this year. The central bank believes that while the MiCA regulation is an important step, there is a need to develop further specific rules tailored to the crypto market. The recent collapse of stablecoin issuer Terra and the collapse of FTX has also prompted regulators to expedite their efforts in regulating the sector. In light of these considerations, Norway's bank recommends that Norway adopt a national strategy for crypto regulation. The deputy governor of Norway's bank urges Norwegian authorities to assess the possibility of progressing more quickly in developing their own regulatory solutions instead of relying solely on international solutions. Norway's bank is ready to contribute to assessments and regulations that encourage responsible innovation. MiCA covers various service providers in the crypto market and addresses market abuse, consumer protection, market integrity, and financial stability. However, the regulation primarily focuses on centralized market participants and needs to adequately cover developments in decentralized finance, at least according to the bank. The bank emphasizes the importance of leveraging existing regulations addressing systemic risks and enforcement actions to regulate the crypto sector effectively. However, it also recognizes the need for greater knowledge about exposure, attitudes, and the applications of crypto in Norway. Norway's bank expresses its commitment to increasing knowledge in this area. Now, as Norway grapples with its approach to crypto regulation, the Bank for International Settlements and a group of central banks have discussed policy elements in CBDC discussions. Let's see what they have to say. In the past, I've described the Bank for International Settlements as the central bank for central bankers. Well, the BIS and a group of central banks have released a paper discussing their ongoing perspectives on a retail central bank digital currency. Now, this is their 5th publication from the same authors. In 2020, the central banks of Canada, the European Union, Japan, Sweden, Switzerland, England, and the United States collaborated with the BIS to establish common principles and the desired features of a retail CBDC. A year later, they published 3 reports addressing specific questions related to a retail CBDC. The latest paper builds upon previous discussions and focuses on policy elements. A key aspect is stakeholder engagement, which will rely on various mechanisms. Because, make no mistake, engaging legislators is crucial because legal issues regarding CBDCs largely depend on national law. The paper often identifies 7 legal issues, including whether a retail CBDC should be considered equivalent to cash or some new form of money. Privacy is also a significant concern. The involvement of the private sector in building a CBDC ecosystem is both a policy decision and a practical consideration. The paper highlights that central banks possess the necessary expertise to issue CBDCs, given their experience creating and managing a value chain for banknotes. Additionally, public acceptance plays a vital role in successfully implementing a CBDC, and this aspect needs to be understood in advance. Specific policy objectives may only be achieved if CBDC adoption reaches a certain level. We see that in Nigeria right now. That can influence the functionality, design, and use cases of a CBDC. Crucial design considerations include facilitating interactions between retail and wholesale CBDCs, enabling cross-border transactions between CBDCs. The paper notes that blockchain technology is not considered essential for a potential CBDC system and may not be the most cost-effective or efficient option for all transaction types. However, the advantages of programmability and seamless micropayment processing provided by the blockchain must be weighed against these factors. It is important to note that none of these central banks involved have currently any plans to introduce a CBDC, that they're telling us. Now, while the central banks are discussing CBDC policies, the European Systemic Risk Board is expressing their concerns about the risks posed by the cryptocurrency industry. Let's explore those concerns. The European Systemic Risk Board, or ESRB, expressed concerns about the risks posed by the crypto industry to the global economy. In their report, they talked about 2 things: the growing volatility of the crypto market and its increasing interconnectedness with traditional finance. Now, while the shocks experienced by the crypto industry in 2022 did not significantly impact traditional finance, the current risk monitoring system is deemed insufficient to track potential issues in the future. Now, to address these concerns, the ESRB recommends enhancing the European Union's ability to monitor the crypto space and the links between it and the larger financial market. One proposed measure is to promote standardized disclosure reporting from banks and investment funds involved in crypto activities. The report also focuses on stablecoins, highlighting the risks associated with the potential run on the reserve-backed stablecoin. Stablecoin reserves consist of various assets, including sovereign and private bonds, fiat currencies, and conventional assets. Despite having a market capitalization of $83 billion, limited information is available about these reserves. The lack of transparency surrounding stablecoins is one of their concerns, with Tether as one of their examples. Additionally, the ESRB raises concerns about the upcoming markets and crypto assets legislation, specifically regarding crypto asset conglomerates. These crypto companies engage in multiple operations such as custody and trading under one entity, kind of like Binance. The combination of these activities poses risks, and the ESRB urges regulators to examine crypto assets conglomerates closely. However, the recommendations made by the ESRB are actually relatively mild. Overall, the ESRB emphasizes the need for both tighter scrutiny of the crypto industry and the improved monitoring of its connections with traditional finance to mitigate potential risks to the global economy. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, subscribe, maybe leave a rating or a review. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.